What's up, Limeheads? Welcome to another video interview here at Long Island Music and Entertainment. We're really excited for tonight's guest. He might not look familiar, but hopefully he'll sound familiar because every weekday between the hours of 2 p.m. and 7 p.m., you can catch him on Alt 92.3 FM. It is a great pleasure that we have Brady with us here at Long Island Music and Entertainment. Brady, welcome, dude.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm good. Just getting done with. Actually, just got home from the radio station, saying things in between songs, and probably making people. Even though you said you're excited, there's probably certain people who probably just like, oh, this motherfucker again.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. I know, like you said, you just got home from doing your show, so we know you're busy. So for you to schedule time to be with us is amazing, means the world to us. So thank you once again.
Sure, man. For sure. Happy to be here.
No problem.
Happy to support the Limeheads.
There you go. There you go. So before we started, I was telling you that, not only are we excited that you're a guest here on Long Island Music and Entertainment, but I am a fan of yours as well. I listen to you all the time. I'm always in my car in the afternoon. So every time I'm in the car in the afternoon, between the hours of 2 and 7, I have my car on 92.3. I'm listening to you. And one of my favorite things about you is that you are so funny and sarcastic with your listeners. And to prove that I do listen to you, just some examples. Like last week or 2 weeks ago, if you had a listener they called in from an office or from their job, they're whispering, they're very quiet. You picked up on it, and then you whispered, or you were very quiet as well because you didn't want them to, I guess, be loud for them to get in trouble. So, that's an example. And then another funny moment, I think last week also, someone called you by mistake, and it took them a few minutes or a few seconds to realize that they dialed you. And then you said, "Oh, do you know that you dialed into a sperm bank?" And like, "Oh my God!" And they hung up right away. So
Yeah, dude, that's like my favorite thing to do on my show. Is that for some reason people, I don't even know how it happens, but people think we're like a different business or like a different like something entirely, and they just have our phone number. And I just love pretending to be whatever company that they're looking for, and just go from there. I had a dude who called up and was looking for some equipment for like space heater or something like that.
Oh wow!
And he was asking for like parts for a space heater, and I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna need the butt plugs. What? The butt plug. You need a butt plug. Yeah, just like, and then just see how long it takes for them to hang up.
Right.
But
that's awesome. Now I remember another case about a year ago where I don't know what happened, but you had a difference of opinion from the station, and you went out on like about a 5-minute rant on what you believe. Do you remember? I don't remember what it was about. Do you remember?
I very much remember, and still hear about it today. So I used to do these fake sponsors on the air, where pretty much I would just go on and be like, all right, time for a fake show sponsor since my show doesn't have any real ones. And I would just pick a real company.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember now.
Yeah, I'd pick a real company and then just make a commercial about them. But this commercial would be roasting the hell out of them, And Spirit Airlines, I don't remember. Spirit Airlines, getting on board with us, there's a chance you might become one, whatever. And eventually I was pretty careful, at least with, the sponsors that I picked, the companies, because like, I get it, it's radio, you need to make money with ads and stuff like that. Well, then the one time that I do an ad on a company that does advertise with us, pull the plug, no more. So I was pretty upset about that. And it was a pretty popular thing. Like people would literally text in every day asking what it was going to be, or, giving their suggestions on what company or something. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to let the listeners know why they're not going to hear fake show sponsors anymore. Because a lot of times, they're not allowed to do, if a jock or a host is not allowed to do something anymore, it's just gone and you'll never hear about it again. So I'm like, I'm going to let people know. And then also I'm going to let them know how I feel about it. Yeah. And I got the fact that I'm still employed, I'm actually really surprised.
Yeah, because I was listening and you kept on going. I'm like, wow, he's really, giving his thoughts and opinions. I thought it was interesting. So I just wanted to bring that up real quick. I hope that was okay.
The meeting after with the management people, not okay. But it worked out over well.
Okay. All right. So what makes 92.3 such a fun and interesting place to be employed at?
It doesn't. No, no, it's an interesting place, man. It is a lot of it's weird because I wouldn't even say it's that fun, like a fun and like it's fun because, dude, I literally get to go on and say a bunch of random crap in between songs and play music that I actually really enjoy and listen to outside of work. Um, but it's get with radio nowadays, especially with the pandemic and everything. I think the one thing that makes radio special and different outside of off the air stuff that really kind of brings it all together is the people that you work with and the events and concerts and all that type of stuff that have gone away. So literally, it's kind of for me at least over the course of the past year that I've been there, it's just walking in and to an empty studio and being in there all alone for 5 hours and then leaving, and that's the end of the day. Shutting the lights off. So like that part, it's interesting. It's not as exciting, but the fun is the fun I have at least is on the air, like talking to the listeners and being able to actually communicate with listeners and hopefully make them laugh or mess with them and stuff. That's like the real fun for me. But then once we get stuff rolling, like we've had meetings already, like all those concerts are coming back this year. We're working on Not So Silent Night. We're working on a summer concert, and stuff. So it's going to bring everything all back together and really be like a really, really cool place,
Nice.
you know, um,
Nice.
really cool, like community for the alternative format and genre here in New York and the listeners and stuff. And we've done a lot of, we've adjusted the playlist a lot over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I've
And
noticed that
so it
too.
feels, yeah, yeah. And to me at least, and I think we all kind of feel pretty confident that the music department has made some right decisions. At least I do. I think, I listen to it, I'm like, hell yeah, like this is how it should be.
Yeah.
Papa Roach
Yeah.
on 92.3 feels right.
Yeah, because 92.3 used to be K Rock 92.3, which I'm sure
Yeah,
you know, and that was
yeah,
my favorite
definitely.
station. So, it's good to hear more of that kind of music coming back to 92.3.
Totally, totally.
Is
More
that
guitar driven stuff, less MGK.
right?
That's all we need.
Yeah. All right. Growing up, what was some of your favorite, or who were some of your favorite radio personalities?
Growing up, so I'm from Detroit originally. So
Okay.
I a lot of the people that would watch this probably have no idea who they are, especially if they're
Mhm.
on Long Island. But I grew up in Detroit, so there was just a lot of really good radio personalities that were there, and kind of like the reason I wanted to be on radio was people like a guy named Dr. Don and Mojo in the morning, who was another morning show host, and Dave and Chuck the Freak, and then there was a radio show that I used to listen to a lot too, that we were lucky enough to, at least I was lucky enough to have, in Detroit, based from New York, was Opie and Anthony.
Okay.
And Opie and Anthony, man, is my favorite radio show of all time.
Mhm.
I mean, the best, to me, it's just hilarious. And I feel like I learned how to do radio the right way by listening to Opie and Anthony. Not saying I do radio the right way now. I obviously have, everyone
Mhm.
always has their cringe moments and all their what the hell. But I really look up to them in that show as like a reference point, essentially.
Cool.
So
Okay. Have you ever contacted them or met them?
no, I never have. I would love to. That'd be cool. I mean, I know they've kind of had a falling out, obviously.
Right.
They were on 92.3 for a bit, and then when it was Free FM, and then they did that whole K Rock is back thing, which didn't work out too well. But they went back to Sirius XM, and then they kind of broke up and disbanded. But that'd be great if I could meet like
Mhm.
Anthony Cumia or Opie. That'd be awesome. Jim Norton. That'd be so cool.
When did you know that you wanted to get into radio? Was it listening to all those shows, or you knew prior to that?
Yeah, it was pretty much, yeah, I would say it was around then because like I don't know, I always like wanted to do something entertainmenty. I really didn't know what. And then yeah, I was just on the school bus one day actually, and the radio, the morning show that was on, over the speaker, and what they were talking about, like one of the co-hosts was in like Africa, and they were like they literally the bit was like they flew him to Africa and he had to find his way back on $100 or something like that. And so they would call in and check in with him. I just remember all this type of stuff. I just thought that was hilarious, and the way that they were commenting, and I was like, that's interesting. So I just started listening to the radio more and more and just hearing the personalities. I'm like, shit, I want to do that. And then bought a tape recorder and pretended I was on the radio,
Nice.
talking into it at 12 years old, and that was it.
All right, cool, cool. Now, going back over the years, what's your favorite interview that you had, whether it was in person or on air?
Damn, probably. I don't really know. I've interviewed quite a few. Honestly, and this is gonna sound insane. Probably one of my more fun interviews that I've ever had was with a boy band, actually.
Okay.
They were it was a band called Why Don't We? I don't even know if they're still a thing anymore. But I used to work at Z100 before Alt
Okay.
92.3,
Right. Right.
and so they, everybody was coming through there. But the boy band, they were just cool dudes. They were just, we didn't even talk about the music. I think we talked about the music for like 2 minutes. The rest of it was the most random ADD conversation ever. Like thought about Mars and like building a McDonald's on Mars, just all this other crazy stuff. It was a lot of fun. It was like 20 minutes, and it was fun.
Nice.
So probably them. I haven't been able to. Oh, Walk the Moon is actually pretty cool too. They were dope. I got to interview them at Z100. But yeah, I haven't been able to do any interviews actually here at Alt 92.3 over the past year.
Okay.
Hoping to one day, but yeah, right now it's just obviously with COVID and stuff,
Yeah.
having the artists come in do.
Now, if you had the chance to interview anybody, in the near future, who would it be?
Dave Grohl.
Okay.
Dave Grohl would be dope. Although I probably wouldn't be able to get many words out.
Big Foo
Like
Fighters fan?
yeah, huge Foo Fighters fan.
Are you?
I probably would end up being like Chris Farley in that interview, like the SNL when he would like had Paul McCartney, and you remember that where he's just like Chris Farley's like, "You remember when you did that song? That was awesome." I will be stuttering and stammering through the entire thing probably.
Nice. All right. What are your interests other than music?
You know what? That's the one thing I think I need to think about more is hobbies outside of work, because I work a lot, because I don't just do this radio show for Alt 92.3, but I also do a couple other radio shows
Okay.
that are pre-taped and put on other cities in the United States. So I wake up in the morning, I'm taping a show for Detroit, and then I'm taping another show for Richmond, Virginia, and I'm taping another show that's going to air on the weekends. That's national, so it's on all these other cities all over, and so it's a lot of work. And then top it off, I also have to run. I don't even know this is somehow this turned out to be my job to run the Alt 92.3 social media pages. So constantly have to check up on that and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So it keeps me busy. But
Nice.
if I'm not working though, I'm usually just like hanging out with friends, going to a bar, just grabbing drinks, chilling. It's nothing really too
But
exciting.
what's the drink of choice at a bar for Brady?
So it depends on the season actually. And this is gonna but usually I'll go for like just a simple like I like the ciders, like the spike ciders, like
Okay.
Magners. I don't know if you ever had Magners. But Magners is really good. Or I'll just be basic as hell, do a vodka cranberry.
Okay.
So
Cool.
that's pretty much it. But right now, dude, I just discovered these things. There's a bar right down my street. It's called Ulysses. It's on Stone Street, which is like this old ass street with there's nothing but bars. And they have like these warm, like these hot spiked ciders. It's like warm apple cider, but with like rum. Holy shit, so good. And you just need two of them and you're done. Stand up and it just all comes down, all goes down.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. The best thing about New York is fill in the blank.
Oh God. Best thing about New York. I mean, you can just do whatever here in terms of like, I mean, everything. The food's great for the most part.
What kind of food do you like to eat?
I'm vegan, so what's cool is there's like a vegan spot on every corner in this city now. Um, so that kind of helps. I don't know, man. I would say like also transportation wise is great. Like I like riding bikes and stuff, and they have like these city bikes here. So like in the spring and summertime, I'm never on the train or on like a bus or something. I'm just like riding the bikes around, which is kind of cool.
Awesome. Awesome. One last
You're
question.
making me think. You're making me think about things I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah, I'm
about.
sorry. I should have warned
You
you
know?
before. All right, now,
No, it's all good.
if you weren't in radio,
Makes you more appreciative of of the city. You're like, oh yeah, I guess this is a good part about it.
if you weren't in radio, what would you be doing?
So here is my backup plan for when radio goes to hell, and just completely, if my career ever just goes down the drain. I have this. I don't know if it's a dream or more so just what I'd like to do. I want to go move out into the middle of the desert, middle of freaking nowhere, into like a small town, and help run the one and only bar that's there. Just be like
Okay.
one of the owners or managers or bartenders or whatever, and just kind of be like that person. You know,
Nice.
Lone Pine,
Maybe
California. That's where I want to go.
or maybe like Area 51, open up a bar over there, you know?
Oh, dude, you know what? Yeah, all those scientists, they're gonna need drinks, and so
Yeah.
they come to my bar, and then when I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna make sure they're freaking hammered, so then I can, get some information out of them.
There you go. We have come to the part of the interview called the Limelight. Limelight is a chance for you, Brady, to go ahead and promote your show, plug any website, social media. Limelight is sponsored by the Wrestling POV podcast. If you're watching this interview and you are a huge professional wrestling fan, you want to check out Wrestling POV. They are the best in the business. They know professional wrestling, like they know the back of their hands. And right now, Brady, you're in the limelight, so go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my Instagram social media handles at Brady on Air. Not too active on social media, to be honest. Like over the past year, I've taken like this sabbatical from social media where like I just post every now and then because I'm so tired of social media and what it's doing to my brain. So just I take a lot of breaks, but when I do post, it's at Brady on Air, on all of them. Facebook. Well, I don't really have Facebook. Twitter and Instagram. So that's pretty much it. Or alt923 New York on Twitter and Instagram because I help run the Instagram pages. And if we don't build the following, I get yelled at. So at alt923 New York, Twitter and Instagram.
And of course, they could everyone could listen to you between the hours of 2 and 7 every Monday.
Oh yeah, they could do that too.
Yeah.
Yes, they could do that too. If you want to put up with me. Yes.
All right. So once again, we have Brady on from Alt 92.3 FM. Thank you so much for joining us. It was awesome. Hope you had a good time, and thanks for joining us.
Hell yeah, man. Good talking to you for sure.
All right.